Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know, in our last tutorial, we had talked about references. So, how we can set up the references to HTML or JSX elements. There is a way in which you can set the elements to the you can set the references to the components also. Like you can save the reference of any React.js component. So let's go ahead and try to learn by today how we can pass or save the reference for any component. I'll go here, I'll make a new component called input.js. In that input.js RCE, I'll create one class component, and inside that class component, I'll create one input. That's it for today's for meantime. Now let me go ahead and try to create a constructor to give a reference to this input. I will be using my this dot input ref equals to react dot create ref. I will be creating the ref, and then I will pass this ref to the input by using reference keyword and this dot input ref. So now one reference is created in the component, and the reference is already passed to an JSX element. Now, normally what we had done in our last tutorial, we had created we had created a component did mount function, and inside the component did mount function, we had focused the input by using the reference. But today what we have to do is we have to create a normal function, and we will access that function from the parent component, and we will try to do focus from the parent component. So what I want here is I want this input to be focused from the parent component. What I will do here, I'll create a function called focus input. In this function, I will say this dot input ref dot current dot focus. I'll call the same method here, same as I had called last time. And I will move forward to now my components, and I'll create a new file called focus input.js. This will help me to create it's like a parent component to my input, and it will help me to get the reference for my input component, not JSX element component, and try and we can learn that how we can focus from the parent component. RCE React class component, and inside this one I will create one. For first of all, I will pass this input component inside it, and then in the input component down I will create one button, and inside this button I will say focus input. So what I want, let me go ahead and try to import it in my app.js. This one, this component we had created focus input. That's it. And sorry, I have to make backslash here, and yeah. See, now what I want is when I will click this focus input, it will focus my input from, and this focus input button is in the parent component, but the input is in the child component. What I have to do here is I have to first create a reference call using rconst. I will create a constructor. Inside constructor, I will say another for this class, this dot input ref equals to react dot create ref, and the reference is created for the input. Now this reference I will pass here ref equals to this dot input ref, and that's it. Now what I want is this reference is holded from parent component, and it's assigned towards child component. I'm holding a reference for input in focus input component. I'll create a click handler, HNDLER handler, and then arrow function. Inside arrow function, I will say this dot input ref dot current dot I have to call what after this, what method I had created focus input here by using this way. So focus input, this is the method for this input I can using. I will call this by using this dot input dot current inside it. This handler what we had created, I have to pass this reference as this dot click handler. That's it. That's very much clear. Let me go ahead and try to reload the page and see if it works or no. I am going to focus input. I'll try to click and you guys can see like I had focused my input already. So this is the very clear and short way in which we can save the reference for the component as well, and we can perform all the functionalities that are available. Or in the child component, we can create many functions and we can call all of them from the parent component. So that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys like it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.